What changed human life the most? Not one invention, four breakthroughs. Fire, writing, the wheel, and the printing press. Each one solved a brutal limitation. Each one expanded what humans could do. And together, they built civilization. History is often told through empires, battles, and famous rulers. But the real story of progress is simpler and far more human. It is the story of people solving problems that kept them small, hungry, scattered, and forgetful. It is the story of limits being pushed back, one discovery at a time. And when you follow that trail, you find four inventions that changed everything. Before fire, night belonged to fear. Humans could survive, but only barely. Darkness meant danger, cold, and silence. Fire changed that first. It brought warmth, protection, and light after sunset. Suddenly, the day did not end with darkness. People could gather longer, share stories, plan hunts, repair tools, and teach one another. Fire turned vulnerability into community. It also changed what humans ate. Cooked food was softer, safer, and easier to digest. Some researchers even argue that cooking helped support bigger brains, though that idea is still debated. But whether the effect was direct or indirect, the result was enormous. Fire gave humans more usable energy. It made food more efficient. It made life more flexible. It made survival less fragile, and the evidence for that upgrade runs deep. At Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, archaeologists found burned bone and ash deep inside the cave. That suggests controlled fire nearly 1 million years ago. More recent research also points to humans deliberately making fire much later, around 400,000 years ago. That means fire was not just something humans stumbled into. It became a skill, a repeatable technology, a force people could command instead of fear. That is the first great pattern in human history. We do not only discover things, we learn to control them, and once control arrives, everything changes. But survival was only the beginning. The next great limitation was memory. How do you remember who owes what? How do you track grain, labor, taxes, and trade? How do you keep a city running when no single person can hold it all in their head? The answer was writing. Writing began with a very unglamorous problem: bookkeeping. In Mesopotamia, people first used clay tokens to count goods. Then, those marks became tablets. Around 3200 BCE, cuneiform appeared, and it often recorded bread, beer, and rations. That is not the stuff of legends. It is the stuff of administration. But that is exactly why it mattered. A city with writing could remember. A king could issue orders beyond his lifetime. A temple could track offerings. A merchant could prove a debt. A farmer could record land. Rules no longer vanished with a single voice. They became durable. Writing created a new kind of power. Not just the power to speak, but the power to preserve. And preservation changed society at every level. Once information could outlive the people who created it, institutions became stronger than individuals. A bureaucracy could grow. Laws could accumulate. Trade could expand across seasons and generations. Knowledge no longer depended entirely on memory, tradition, or oral performance. It could be stored, copied, checked, and passed on. That was revolutionary. Writing also was not a one-time miracle in one place. Major historical summaries show that writing systems emerged independently in multiple regions, including Mesopotamia, China, and Mesoamerica. Humans kept reinventing the same miracle, turning speech into marks, turning moments into memory, turning local knowledge into something that could travel through time. So now we had fire for survival and writing for memory. But another barrier still stood in the way: distance. How do you move heavy loads? How do you connect villages, cities, and markets across long roads? How do you make faraway places feel closer? Enter the wheel. At first glance, the wheel looks almost too simple, just a circle. But the real breakthrough was not the circle. It was the wheel and axle together. That system let weight roll instead of drag. It reduced effort. It stretched trade routes. It made transport faster and more reliable. Once that happened, distance began to shrink. Some of the earliest evidence comes from images and models. The Brnosis pot in Poland, dated to around 3500 BCE, shows a four-wheeled wagon. And the Ljubljana Marshes wheel, found in Slovenia, is one of the oldest surviving physical wheels. Its design shows careful engineering, not guesswork. This was not a toy. It was infrastructure. That matters because the wheel did not conquer the world alone. It needed roads. It needed animals. It needed organized labor. It needed societies capable of building and maintaining systems. In other words, the wheel only becomes transformative when civilization is already learning how to coordinate at scale. That is what makes it so powerful. It did not simply move objects, it moved economies. It moved armies. It moved ideas. It made networks possible. And once networks exist, trade becomes more than exchange. It becomes connection. Food can travel farther. Materials can be gathered from new places. Specialization grows. One settlement can focus on farming, another on metalwork, another on administration. The wheel helped turn scattered communities into connected systems. It shrank the world without ever leaving the ground. Now we reach the final great leap in this story, not the movement of bodies, the movement of ideas. For most of human history, knowledge traveled slowly. By hand, by memory, by rumor. A text copied by a scribe took time, skill, and money. Books were rare. Knowledge was precious but fragile. Then came the printing press. The printing press changed the speed of civilization. It turned knowledge from handmade to mass-produced. Before printing, books were scarce. After Gutenberg, everything accelerated. In roughly 50 years, Europe went from rare manuscripts to millions of printed copies. That was not a small improvement. That was an information explosion. And the effects reached far beyond books. Printing spread religious debates. It fueled the Reformation. It allowed pamphlets to move faster than authorities could respond. Ideas began to scale, not one reader at a time. Thousands, tens of thousands. Suddenly, a thought written in one place could reshape an entire region. That changed politics, it changed science, it changed education, it changed who got access to knowledge. It also changed what knowledge was. When texts could be compared across copies, errors could be challenged. When ideas could circulate widely, they could be tested publicly. Printing helped create a world where learning was no longer trapped behind walls of scarcity. It became contagious. That is the deepest pattern of human progress. First, we solved survival, then memory, then distance, then access. Each breakthrough widened the circle of possibility. Fire gave us nights filled with safety and learning. Writing gave us durable memory. The wheel gave us reach. The printing press gave us scale. And once knowledge could spread widely, modern civilization became possible. Look at human history through that lens, and it becomes clearer. Progress is not magic, it is problem solving. It is one generation building something the next generation can use. It is people sharing what they discovered. That is how civilization grows. Not in a straight line, not without setbacks, but through moments when a single invention unlocks a larger world. And the story is still going. Every era has its own breakthroughs. Every generation finds new limits to break. That is why these ancient discoveries still matter. They remind us that human history is the story of expanding possibility. A spark, a mark, a wheel, a printed page, small things, world-changing things. If you want a part 2, comment the invention you think changed human life most.